Good morning, Broncos country. How's it going today, guys? I wanted to get on here this morning and talk about the news that just broke about Tim Patrick restructuring his deal and coming back for next year. So, here we go. So, the news broke this morning that Tim Patrick and the Broncos have agreed for Tim Patrick to restructure his deal to come back for one more year. Now, to me, this means many, many things. Or it could possibly mean many, many things. One, I believe that Sutton will probably get cut or traded, which a lot of people were freaking out about the other day because he scrubbed all of his social media of everything Broncos. And if that's the truth, and the fact that Tim Patrick restructured, which I kind of figured he would, with the simple fact the last 2 years he gets injured in preseason, or in training camp, I'm sorry. Season-ending injuries. It's basically the same thing. The fact that the Broncos are having to restructure contracts and they're having to cut players to get under the cap because they were $22 million over the cap, plus the Russell Wilson contract, plus having cap to sign their rookies that they're going to draft this year and possibly get free agents out of free agency this year. There's going to be a lot more moves made. We know Justin Simmons getting cut saves us $14 million. Courtland Sutton being cut, I think that saves us 10. And then Tim Patrick restructuring saves us about $9 million. And then if we restructure Bowles as well, I'm pretty sure that saves us like $7 or $8 million, if not more. I have to look that up. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, guys. So there's going to be a lot of restructures, a lot of cuts. And I just don't see the Broncos carrying two receivers like Tim Patrick and Courtland Sutton together. Especially with the way we're going to have to eat this dead cap with Russell Wilson. They're not going to want two 50-50 guys. One of them's going to stay, and I believe it's going to be Tim Patrick now after the restructure. He's a big 50-50 guy. He's just like Sutton. He can go up, contest the 50-50 catches, and come down with it the majority of the time. Then you got Jerry Jeudy, the route runner, who can just destroy a defense with his feet. And then you got Marvin Mims, who's going to be the speed demon, take the top off defenses for us. So, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they don't cut Courtland Sutton. Maybe they don't trade Courtland Sutton, but if they were to get rid of him, I would prefer, because Sutton's probably going to be the only one out of all those that you're going to get anything out of, like, a second, maybe a third. Like, a lot of people were ticked off the other day about the whole Justin Simmons thing, like, why didn't we trade him? Well, because the safety market, the free agent safeties this year is crazy. You should go see the class. It's nuts. There's like Jamal Adams. There's a couple other good ones out there. And Simmons, I think, is one of the older ones, so no one was going to give up anything for Justin Simmons, knowing the Broncos are going to have to probably cut him anyway. So, a lot of restructures, everything coming, in this next week. Sorry, guys, my nose itches. In this next week, we're probably going to see a lot more restructures, like Garrett Bowles. He might restructure. You got to sign Cushenberry, too. Like, I have been saying this all season. You have to keep this offensive line together, especially if you're going to be drafting a rookie. You got to protect him at all costs. They might ask Mike McGlinchey, maybe even Ben Powers to restructure. So there's going to be a lot. And you got big players coming up. Like next year, you can get through this next season with Jeudy, and if he doesn't pop like he's supposed to, you can get rid of Jeudy next year, or you can pay him. Same with Patrick Surtain. I mean, I'm pretty sure we picked up his fifth-year option. We're paying Patrick Surtain after next season. That's not even a question. Unless, like I said, the only way that we don't pay Patrick Surtain is if Sean Payton thinks that one of these quarterbacks, high-ranked quarterbacks, are the guy of the future. And they have to trade up to get him. Like, if it's like pick 3, pick 2, and they have to trade up and they have to trade Patrick Surtain, that's the only way we're not going to pay him. Other than that, yeah, we're going to pay Patrick Surtain. So, and then Jerry Jeudy, like I said, if you want to keep him after next year, you're going to have to pay him. Javante's contract, I believe, comes up next year, unless they cut him and get rid of him. P. Ryan, after next year, he's probably going to want a new deal, or he's probably going to walk, but I'd let him walk, honestly, because I think after next year, he'll be 28 or 29, and you don't need to be paying a running back that old that much money. And then I'm trying to think of some other people. Singleton, you got to have inside linebackers. Baron Browning's probably going to want a new contract. You know, even Caden Stearns, if he winds up popping and staying healthy next year, he's going to want a new contract eventually. So, yeah, with the Tim Patrick restructure, I have a feeling Cortland Sutton's gone. I hate to say it. It sucks. But you cut Cortland or you trade Cortland, you save $10 million. You got your other big 50-50 guy. You still got Jerry Jeudy if you don't get rid of him, and you still got Marvin Mims. You got the route runner, the speed demon, and you got the 50-50 guy. And that's a huge gamble, honestly. It is. Because the last 2 years in, training camp, Tim Patrick has had a season-ending injury. And that's scary. Going in, unless they draft another big 50-50 guy in the draft this year, or they sign one, for instance, I was talking to a buddy of mine yesterday. The Saints are going to wind up cutting Michael Thomas. Could there possibly be a reunion there with Sean Payton and Michael Thomas? Possibly. He could probably get Michael Thomas to come to Denver on the vet minimum. Who knows? I mean, I know Thomas is up there in age, but, you could have that as a security blanket in case, Tim Patrick does wind up going down again. You already restructured him. Because he's got season-ending injuries the last 2 training camps. So, if it happens again, if Michael Thomas is there, at least you got him. I'm not saying he's one of the best receivers in the league. I mean, he's good. He could be that security blanket that you need for a young rookie quarterback if you need him. So, yeah, this is getting crazy, guys. I'm excited to see over this next week before free agency opens and the new league year starts, what other moves the Broncos are going to make. A couple days ago, it was Russell Wilson. Then after that, it was the Justin Simmons getting cut. Then yesterday, it was everybody was freaking out about Cortland Sutton, scrubbing his social media Broncos stuff. Now today, Tim Patrick restructures and he's coming back. What's it going to be tomorrow? They trade Jerry Jeudy? Or they can't trade him yet, but they agree to terms with somebody to trade Jerry Jeudy? Do they restructure Bowles? Do they, trade Sutton? I mean, there's a number of things. Do they get rid of Javonte? Do they re-sign Cushenberry to a 3-year whatever amount deal? It's exciting. It really is. Because, these next couple of days leading up until next week, till the new league year starts, that's when you start seeing deals getting put in place. The Seahawks and Broncos, a couple of years ago, Seahawks and Broncos have agreed to terms to trade for Russell Wilson. It happened 3 days before the new league year started. Before they could actually put pen to paper and make it official. These are the days, this whole weekend is going to be the days where we see that kind of stuff happening. Not just for the Broncos, but for every team. And you're going to be probably seeing a lot more restructures. You're probably going to be seeing news lines of Broncos have agreed to trade Cortland Sutton to the Miami Dolphins or the whoever, And those days are coming. That's today and this weekend. I'm pretty sure the new league year starts next Wednesday. So we're going to start seeing a lot of stuff, a lot of restructures, a lot of trade news, probably trades being put in place, players getting released. I mean, we've already been seeing it. It's just going to get more intense these next couple of days. So let me know what you guys think about this, about the Tim Patrick restructure and, him coming back next year and what this means for Cortland Sutton, because this has got to mean something. Because with all the dead cap money we're going to have from the Russell Wilson trade, and we were already over the cap as it was, and having to restructure and cut and trade players, do you guys think that this means Cortland Sutton's gone? He's going to get traded or cut? Or do you still think Cortland Sutton will be on this team, come even the draft, honestly? So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe on this channel, and I will bring you more Broncos content as soon as I can. I will talk to you guys later. Peace.